Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all here this morning. And I can't really see you, but I'm imagining that I'm seeing you in front of me just as I do every Sunday. This, of course, is very untraditional from the way that we do things. And I'm busier than a one-armed paper hanger, as the expression goes, trying to pick up this technology. We've had quite a few challenges with Karen Drucker's music. She gave us permission to use it, and I've done 3 recordings, but the technology, the internet technology, actually erased them because her material is copywritten. So not quite sure how to deal with that, and I hope that we can remedy that in the next week. However, that means that here goes take number 4. By now I'm getting a little crazy with it. And I just really, more than anything today, want to have a discussion about what's going on. And I understand that it's going to be a one-way discussion at this point, but I certainly welcome your emails after we're finished. But first of all, let's just start with a meditation the way that we would on Sunday mornings at 10:30 to kind of get in the space. And so we're doing it without the music. But I just invite you to take a deep breath and just settle into your chair wherever you might be. Maybe you're still having your morning coffee. That's a nice image for me to hold in my mind. And just relax. And as you breathe easily and naturally. And allow each breath to just take you down deeper into a more relaxed space. Just allowing everything else to go out of your mind right now. And just feel that wonderful golden disc in the center of your heart growing and expanding until it's just filled with dazzling white light and is filling your entire body so that this beautiful light is just shining out everywhere around you, shining out into your home, out into the streets, out into this country, out into the world. Let's fill the world with this beautiful healing light, the light of the divine. Oh, and just relax into it. If there's any place in your body that is uncomfortable, just allow this light to focus on it as we do this meditation today together. And so I'm just going to guide us through it right here and right now, knowing that everyone is in a wonderful, safe place and that we come together in loving energy and in peace. And we are all at home. And so the beautiful gifts of gratitude begin at home. And today, I invite a healing to happen, a healing in your own body, in your own consciousness, in your own loving heart. And just feel how blessed it is to be alive. Let us give thanks for life itself. And notice all the riches that you've been given, and be grateful for the feet that allow you to stand and the legs that allow you to walk, the lungs that allow you to breathe, the throat that allows you to speak, the mouth that allows you to taste, and the nose that allows you to smell. Oh, the eyes that allow you to see. And your beating heart that allows you to love and honor them all. Let us become present to the treasures of life, the opportunities you've been given, the ones that have effortlessly opened up this year. And reflect on your family and on your friends, your relationships. And let us look through appreciative eyes, the eyes of what's right, the eyes of the divine. And let us give thanks in a way that we never have before. Allow the fear, the doubt, the struggle, the pain to just melt away in the presence of this all-loving appreciation. And thank God that you have a consciousness that is able to shift and transform in just a moment. And thank God that you are courageous enough to take a moment to bless yourself and to bless the universe and to bless all those who love and guide you. And then to bless all of the world. Send your tears of love and gratitude to those who are in pain, to those who are alone, to those who are confused, to those who are fearful. And allow the vibration of love and gratitude to puncture their fearful illusions and to open up their hearts to what is truly divine. And let us in this moment hold those we love, those we hold close to us in our hearts, our families, our dear friends, our colleagues, our fellow congregants at the Center for Spiritual Living, Victoria. Let us hold them all close right now. And in a moment of silence, let us send love, healing energy to every one of them. And just feel the peace and feel this wonderful light surrounding each one of them, penetrating each of their bodies, penetrating their minds, bringing them peace. And today, excuse me, take this vow of deep self-love and gratitude, knowing that when you're in the presence of this kind of love, that you, as well as all those around you, will flourish. And take a slow, deep breath now, breathing in love. And take another one, breathing in appreciation. And another breath, breathing in gratitude. And another one, breathing in joy. And know that you're never alone and that you will never be alone, because we are all here surrounding you with love. And so it is. And so coming back now into this full awareness, this full consciousness, we certainly live in interesting times. And I know that people are being challenged by all kinds of things right now. I want to talk a little bit about that today. I had a call from one of my dearest friends a few days ago, and he lives in Indianapolis. and his son had come to visit him. And his son, Christian, is autistic, but he's high functioning. And he had been listening to the news, and he was afraid that his father was going to die. And my friend looked at him and said, "I'm not going to die, Christian. I'm too busy to die." And I just laughed out loud when he said that. And then I remembered I had said something similar a few days before that. I said, "I'm just too busy to die. I'm learning this technology. I haven't got time to be sick. Haven't got time for any of this stuff right now." And while I make light of that and laugh about it, we do have to laugh. We have to make fun of some of the things in our lives right now. We have to find the humor in them because goodness knows everything around us is really serious at the moment. We do have to take some of these things seriously. And while we do, we also, I think, have to explore the gifts that are in all of this. I just heard something today that the people in different provinces in China are hearing the birds for the first time. Just imagine that. It's finally quiet enough without all of the traffic that they can hear the birds. That really made me just kind of suck in my breath and wonder, perhaps we all need to just be taking a breath and listening and looking around us for what is important, for what's going on. Like you, I'm receiving a lot of emails these days, and one of the ones that I received a few days ago was from Jean Houston. And she was talking about how grateful she is for all of the touching things that she's observing around her. And that made me look at the things around me too, the things that are touching my heart during this time that we're experiencing some challenges. The very first thing that came to mind was seeing the videos in Italy, and you've probably already seen them. The apartment buildings row by row with people out on their balconies singing, all singing the same song. And it just sounds like a wonderful choir. And to me, that's just the triumph of the human spirit. That's like saying, I'm not going to let you get me down. I'm not going to let this thing get me down. And I love that. And then the people in Spain who, same lineup of apartments in Spain and people out on their balconies leading fitness classes for their neighbors on other balconies. What a wonderful thing to do. And little children drawing beautiful hearts and posting them in windows and drawing rainbows and writing love notes and putting them in their windows. Their way of expressing their love out to the world. It's really amazing to see what is happening like this. And I heard that in Victoria, a number of the restaurants they're closed to regular business, but they're still sending out takeouts and preparing takeouts. And some of them are making extra big pots of soup so that they can give free bowls of soup to seniors who might be in need. Isn't that a wonderful thing? And the distilleries are making hand sanitizer out of some of their alcohol, and they're giving it away. They're not charging anything for it. There's something about these difficult times that really brings out the best in human nature. And I think we need to be thinking about that during these days rather than just focusing on all of the doom and gloom that we've been hearing about. We can certainly be grateful for the fact that we've heard that for the last 3 days in China, there have been no new outbreaks. And as a friend of mine pointed out to me yesterday when I was talking to him, it took 60 days for the Chinese to get things under control. And so if we look at this as a 60-day virus that's going around, and if we all take the precautions that we're asked to take, let's see this just disappearing in another 60 days, if not before that time. We really need to stay positive about all of this, and we do have to take all of the precautions that we've been asked to take. It's a time when we're receiving more telephone calls. I know I am. My daughters are calling me regularly to see how I'm doing, really realizing that their mother might be in a vulnerable age group and getting over a cold. So they've been fussing over me, and they don't say they're fussing over me, but I just know that by their calls that they are. And also, I'm noticing that they have a lot more time to talk. We all, well, myself excluded at the moment, but I know that this will shift next week, that they have more time to talk because they're not able to go to their places of work. And my daughter in Banff was saying to me that they finally painted their bathroom. They've been wanting to do that for a long time. They've had to paint for a long time, just didn't have the time to do it. And so people are finding that they're catching up with things that they haven't been able to before. And Reverend Joanna called me and she said she was going to start phoning people in the congregation. And I said, that's incredible. I really appreciate that. And I'm going to be doing the same next week. Lasia Kohut is as well. Lasia is just finishing her practitioner studies and she's going to be serving with us again, which we really welcome. Love to have her on board. And she wants to phone people and to be in touch too, and to be available for prayer. And the same thing with Rachel. So you'll be hearing from each of us at some point during the weeks ahead, and probably you'll be hearing from us more than once. And if any of you needs prayer, just click on, or don't click on, but in your email, just address an email to prayer@cslvictoria.org, and we will pray for you. We'll either give you a call if you want to do an in-person call, or we'll send you a prayer by email. Just know that we're here for you during this time. Now, I don't know if I said at the beginning of this, I said it in one of the recordings that I've done, that this is not a traditional talk I'm doing today. I really want to talk to you about this virus and about some of the things that we might be able to do and some of the things that we can think about during this time. And then I'll get back to my regular talks next week. I was speaking from one of Greg Braden's books, and it just seemed like I needed to put that aside and to really address what's going on in our lives right now. And of course, we have the Cozy Couch concerts going every night. I tuned into Amy Bishop's the other night, and there was a lot of problem with the sound. Now, Amy has gone live on Facebook many times with her music without any challenges at all. And someone suggested that the Facebook is really, or not just Facebook, but the internet is having problems because of the huge amount of traffic. And when I think of all of the ministers who are doing things now by by Zoom, by Facebook, whatever, we alone are taking up a huge amount of space on the net. And I know that everybody has a lot more time to devote to that these days too. So we just have to be patient, and I'm really hopeful that the concerts will continue and that we'll be able to get good sound out of them. And Wayne Powell got in touch with me. He's in the British Virgin Islands, and he wants to do a couch concert in April. And I said, yay, yes. How wonderful to listen to a Hawaiian concert with Wayne's beautiful mellow voice and that lovely energy that he brings to us. So stay tuned for that. I'll be posting regular updates for you to let you know what's happening. So with all of the precautions that we're being told to take, especially the hand washing, I was just reading a few minutes ago, that we should be washing our hands every 20 minutes and doing it for 20 seconds at a time. That's a lot of hand washing. And I'm wondering if that means even when we're at home. And I guess it must, because we're going to be washing our hands. But I received an email from someone the other day. This fellow said that he'd been washing his hands so often that his cheat notes from his grade 7 math exam had finally been uncovered, and there was a picture of a hand with notes on it online. And I thought, again, we do have to see the humor in this somewhere along the way. We have to make light of some things that are going on. We can't just always be in such a serious place. And to that end, I really recommend that we don't spend a lot of time watching the news. As you know, I'm a news junkie, and I have cut down my time completely. I try to watch for about 15 minutes a day to see what's happening in our own community so that I can be mindful of that. But it's really important for us not to buy into all of the fear that's going around, and to just stay as positive as we can. And, to get the things done that we need to get done, and to also find ways to amuse ourselves during this time. Jean Houston said, it's really important that we perhaps create a new kind of virus, a virus of caring. And that's really the topic that I'm dealing with today. It's, creating a virus for good. Let's spread around the good. Let's spread around that caring, spread around the love, spread around this energy of support and of some humor. Let's keep our spirits high as we go through all of this together. Certainly, we have never experienced anything like this before in our lifetime. You know, Ernest Holmes said that behind the creative power of every human being, there's a better way to think. And isn't that the truth? You know, this is the time, I think more than ever before, that we have to focus on a better way to think. And we know that our thoughts create our reality. I mean, that's even been proven now scientifically. It's been part of our teaching for 100 years. But scientifically, it's been proven in the quantum that what we focus upon expands. What we think about starts to create form. Our thoughts create form. We have to really remember that at this time. And, I was thinking the other day that when I was teaching beginner classes, one of the first things I used to do was give everybody a really thick elastic band and tell them to put it around their wrists. And when they caught themselves with a negative thought, to snap that band. It hurts. And I'll tell you, it doesn't take very long to start changing your thoughts once you start doing that to yourself for over a period of about a week. And I would suggest to people that they set the timer on their stoves, set their alarm, set the timer on your cell phone, whatever, for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. And then when the timer pings, um, think about what it is that you were just thinking about. What were your last thoughts? Were they positive? Were they negative? Were they fearful? Were they loving? And if they weren't what you would like them to be, then snap that band and just get over it. It's so important right now. It's always important. You hear me saying important a lot today, but it's always important that we do this, so that we don't live in a place of woe is me, or ain't it awful, as Reverend Jennifer used to say. I always really like that. We don't want to live in ain't it awful. So let's be positive with ourselves, and let us be positive with others as well, and not really listen to the doom and gloom that is out there right now. It's really up to us. And, you know, we have to first of all believe that we deserve all good in our lives. Really have to believe it. How many of us believe that we deserve it? You know, if somebody else says to us, you know, you really deserve this, you deserve all of the wonderful things that life has to offer. You know, what do we say? We probably say thank you, but do we believe it? Because if we don't believe it ourselves, if somebody else tells us this, then we're not going to believe them when they tell us this is as well. So let us get into that place of deservedness, into that place that, you know, where we're just, as Lillian said, and I've said a couple of times at the center recently, into that place we're on a rampage of appreciation for all of the good in our lives, and let us know that we deserve all of that good that's coming in. And let us stay in that place of gratitude and appreciation for all of the great things that we do have in our lives right now. It's an important thing that we do. You know, excuse me, and let us turn off the voices in our heads. You know, those negative voices that are telling us that we need to be fearful, that that things are not good out there. Let's turn out the voices, turn them off, and go to a different place. Let's listen to the singing of the birds. I can hear them outside my window. You know, let's look outside at the beautiful blossoms on the trees, at the flowers in the gardens. Let's go out and be in the sun, staying away from others, but being in the sun and just drinking that in. It's such a healthy thing to do. You know, one of the emails that I received a few days ago was from Lynn McTaggart. I really appreciate the work that she's doing. She, of course, is at the Institute for Noetic Sciences that was founded by astronaut Edgar Mitchell when he was coming back from space on one of his journeys. And it happened when he looked down and he saw everything at a quantum level. He saw his body, the spaceship, the stars around him, everything at a quantum level, and everything looked the same. And he said, you know, I just realized that everything is made out of stardust. We're all made out of the same stuff. We're all made out of the same thing. And of course, he went on to do the most amazing scientific research at the Institute. And Lynn worked with him for a long time and continues to do his work. And she sent out an email about this virus and about some things that we can think about and some practical things that we can do. And she said that in Shanghai, the chief of a medical center there, a major medical center, um, had been in touch and said that he had absolutely no deaths at all in his hospital. Absolutely none. He had a lot of people who had the virus, but they didn't die. And what he did was he gave them massive doses of vitamin C intravenously. He said he gave them from 10 to 20 grams of vitamin C intravenously to start with, and then continued the treatment with smaller doses after that. And every one of them recovered. And then she mentioned that there is a hospital in New York that has been doing this for people with pneumonia, and that they have recovered from pneumonia. And she started doing some studies, and she discovered that there was a doctor, I believe his name was Dr. Klenner, Klenner, at Duke University in the US in 1940. And he published 28 papers about the value of vitamin C in treating pneumonia and how it could absolutely get rid of pneumonia. And she said, we really can pay attention to this if we don't know what else to do. And people are saying that there's absolutely no cure, that in fact, we can keep ourselves safer with vitamin C. And she said, you don't have to do the fancy stuff, just regular old vitamin C will do it. And she said even 200 milligrams a day will make a big difference. Now, most of us probably are taking vitamin C. Probably most of us know about this already, but it certainly is worth our remembering. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a physician. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't really, I don't pretend to know what's going to cure these things. But I do think it's important to pass along information like this that comes along. And she also said that, this virus, of course, is related to the SARS virus, which we were warned of many years ago now. And she said that some of the treatment that was being worked upon for the SARS virus was basically shelved. And so people don't have to start from scratch right now. Scientists don't have to start from scratch if they're looking for, or when they're looking for a cure for this disease. She said they've already got a lot of information that they can work with. So let's take that to heart as well and know that it is possible for this cure to be there. And let us see this planet healing. And meanwhile, what a wonderful time for us to really be introspective, to determine what's really important to each of us, what's of value to us, what are our values. We have time now to slow down. Most of us are at home. Most of us have a lot more time than we've had in a long time because we've been so busy with life. We don't have to be that busy right now. And perhaps it's a message to us to slow down completely. And perhaps it's a message for us to be kinder with one another. We're seeing a lot of changes. I know when I went to the supermarket the other day, I walked in, it was empty, but so were a lot of the shelves. And when I went to check out, there were red lines that were 2 meters apart, and I had to stand 2 meters behind the person who was in front of me. And I had my reusable bags, and the cashier asked me if I knew about their new policy, and I said no. And she said, well, we're giving away plastic bags free, but if you pack your own bags, you could use the reusable ones. And I said, well, I'll use the reusable ones. There's enough plastic in the ocean right now, thank you. And so I happily did that. I mean, there's no problem with doing that. But, it really shows us what is happening, what the changes are, and how we have to deal with them. But we also can't give up our values. I'm not going to give up my reusable bags to use plastic again. God bless them for all that they're trying to do, but we have to become so much more mindful of everything that we've been doing on this planet. A lot of these viruses may not even have happened if it hadn't been for the fact that we've been neglecting Mother Earth for a long time. So let's think about those things, but more than anything, let's think about one another right now. Let's stay in touch. If you have friends who are elderly and who are really shut in, give them a phone call. It's so much more important, I think, than texts and emails, although those are great too. But it's that personal thing that is so much more important right now. We all have more time. Let's take the time to do that. Let's take the time to let the people that we love know how much we love them, how much we care for them, how much we're thinking about them, how much we're praying for them. And let us pray for them as we go along each day. Let us create this virus of caring that Jean Houston talked about. Let us spread this throughout the world. Our love, our peace, everything that's wonderful in our hearts and in our lives, let us share it. And so it is. Now, this is the time that typically in a service we would be taking an offering. And so I was going to play a Karen Drucker tune, which I did in my other recordings that I made, but since we can't do that right now, I'd just like to invite you to go to our website and to click on the donate button and to make your donation there today, or alternatively, to send a check to Lillian Sladina, our treasurer, or you can send me an e-transfer and copy Lillian in on the email with the security answer, so that she will know how much to put into the books, and then I'll see that this gets deposited into the bank. Lillian didn't want to take e-transfers, so I'm quite happy to do that. The information about how to do this was sent out in our newsletter this week. Lillian's address is there, and the other information is there as well. And if you need any further information, just give me a call or send me an email. I'm available from 1 to 7 each day for phone calls. And if you want prayer, again, just type into your email prayer@cslvictoria.org, and we will respond to it. Let us know if you want a phone call to do prayer with you on the phone, because we're happy to do that as well. And until then, until we can get together again, and we're going to reevaluate the situation in about a month's time, probably mid-April. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy and stay loving and, excuse me, and just spread that love all over the place, because you are amazing, amazing people. And I'd like you to join me right now in a closing prayer. And just know with me that there is one power, one intelligence, one truth, one love in all the universe. And it is the energy and intelligence that I call God. It goes by many names. And it's not some old man sitting up there on a cloud who's judging us. This is the intelligence of the universe, the intelligent creator of the universe. It is that power that is behind everyone and everything. And it is in you and it is in me. We were born with it. And so I know that today that this healing energy is in every cell of your body. And every cell of your body is healing if healing is necessary. And as our cells are replicating by the minute, I know that each new cell that's being replicated is being replicated in perfection, divine perfection, that they are healthy cells. And I know that as this is taking place, that our minds are clear. Those voices in our head that are negative are gone. And we keep happy memories going on in our minds and in our hearts. And we hold one another dear and hold one another close. And we count our blessings and we live in gratitude. And as we do, we shine that light all around us in our homes. And if we go out for walks, it's just out there as well. And we are grateful for all of the beauty and wonder around us as we go through this time in our history, a time that will probably never be forgotten. All of you just stay safe and stay healthy and know that you're in my heart and in my mind. I send you love. I love you, and I know that each of you is love itself. We were created out of it, and so it is. Bless you all on this journey, and have a really special week, and know that you are constantly being prayed for, and so it is. Bye for now.